About 13 years ago or so, I was laying on my mother's couch. I stopped to visit her in her single bedroom apartment, and I think she was in her bedroom taking a nap. And I laid down on her couch to watch TV or do something. I can't remember, but I was laying on her couch. And this is about 10 years after I divorced my wife, my ex-wife. And it takes a long time to get over a divorce. I divorced her because she was not in love with me. She was in love with somebody else. And, I set her free. And she never came back to me, as they say. But anyway, we had been together for 16 years. We had two children together. And it took a long time for me to deal with it. And you're constantly, as a man, or anyone trying to search for where it all kind of went wrong. But you never find the answer to that question. It's too big of a question. It's just, you never find the answer to it. Where did it all go wrong? Anyway, I would think about it once in a while, not like I thought about it every day, but I would mull over things once in a while, and I was that day. And anyway, I was laying on my mother's couch, and I had a very strange experience. Okay, I am a spiritual person. I've been a spiritual person most of my adult life. I asked Jesus into my heart when I was 22, and I had some strange experiences, uh, that I don't really remember, but I'm a very spiritual person. Anyway, I was laying on her couch, and something strange began to occur. My torso, my upper body began to have a burning sensation. And I mean, really, it started to grow and get bigger and bigger, like my torso was on fire. And I couldn't get up off the couch. I actually tried to get up, but I couldn't. I couldn't get up. And the only thing, it's hard to put into words spiritual stuff, first of all, but I'll try to do the best I can. It was like somebody had a big hand and they were holding me down on the couch and wouldn't let me up. And whoever was holding me down was not just holding me down, they were actually holding me down, producing heat on my stomach and everything within me. Very hot. It was so hot, my forehead began to sweat. And also, I had taken off my uh, shoes and everything, and my feet began to sweat. And I mean sweat. And my feet, I don't recall my feet really ever sweating at all. So my forehead's sweating, my feet are sweating, my upper torso is got extreme heat. I can't get up off the couch. Whatever's going on, it's holding me down. And it's like somebody is like pushing me into myself, so to speak, deep within myself. And I began to see things. And when I say that, I don't mean I saw things in the room. I saw things within myself, which is a very strange experience. It's hard to put that in words. I began to see the world from a very elevated position. I was way uh, up and away from the earth. I was being held up by somebody spiritual. It was either uh, I still think to this day that it was an angel that was doing this. Could have been Jesus, could have been God Himself. They were to the right side of me. I could not see them. Even if I looked to my right, I wouldn't see anything. But I knew that they were right to the right of me, holding me up. And they were controlling all this. And I was looking down to the world. And the world did not have any land at all, did not have any people. The world was a solid ball of water. And it was from quite a distance. I could see a big round ball of ocean. It was nothing but water. And I just stood there looking at the world from a great distance, and we started to move towards the world. And as we're moving towards the world, down to the world, and it's just this big ball of water, ocean, and it's a very beautiful dark blue color, uh, I began to see somebody, one person in the whole world. And the closer we're moving towards it, I realized that it's my ex-wife. And my ex-wife is named Ellen. And she was about waist deep in the ocean. And as we're getting closer, I see that she's got both arms and she's waving to me. And she's got a big smile on her face and she's waving and she looks happy. And I'm just like, all right, she's happy and I'm waving back. And we keep moving closer and closer, and I keep trying to make her out even better the closer we get. This whole time we didn't stop or anything. We just kept moving towards the world. And I'm looking at her and looking at her, and I kept getting closer, and I'm still at a great distance, and I still look at her and I look at her, and I realize at one point I look at her and I realize she's not waving and she's not smiling. She's actually waving because she's drowning, and she's not smiling. She's crying and she's drowning. And I went from a perception of her being happy and waving to a perception of her drowning and flailing her arms looking for someone to save her. And that really had a really bad effect on me. Like, I need to save her. This is someone that I dearly loved back then. And I still love to this very day because she's the mother of my two sons. And I always loved my ex-wife. Always. And I don't, and I will. Nevertheless, as we get closer and closer, now we're getting so close. Like I said, she's drowning, she's crying, and she's flailing her arms like, somebody help me, somebody save me. I'd reach out at the last moment and try to grab her to save her. And I couldn't. And when I went right into the water, under the water. And when I went under the water, I started to see thousands of things about her. Only her, not about me and her, just her. I saw images of her when she was a kid, when she was a happy girl, when she was older too. Some of the images I recognized because they were involved when I saw her, how her hair twinkled in the sunlight. She had beautiful auburn hair and how it had multiple colors in it. And when it was in the sunlight, it twinkled different colors, and how beautiful she looked out in the sunlight, and how the sun shaded her a different way, and how she looked beautiful when she turned a certain way in the sunlight and everything. And it just, all these different beautiful things, and then just different images that I've never seen before. Thousands and thousands of things. When she was pregnant, how beautiful she looked. And like I say, when she was a kid, and it was like I was swimming. I was under the water, and it's like I was swimming through her soul. I understood that this was her soul that I was in, and I was like underwater swimming. And then it ended. And after it ended, I had three or four more things that I saw that had different meanings to them. But this was the first thing I saw. And like I said, this is years ago. This is the first time I've ever spoke about this. Um, this is something very unique and very special to me. I've never even told her about this. I did start writing her letters, but I never mentioned any of this kind of stuff. I did try to express to her never to blame herself for our failed marriage and some other stuff. And I just, anytime I attempted to speak to her, just kind of, it might have just made things worse. I don't know. Nevertheless, all the stuff poured out of me, and I wrote her stuff, and it just poured out of me. I don't know if it was just to put an end to all this stuff that I had inside of me. I don't know. I just kind of let it happen, and I let her think whatever she wanted to think of me. But I never told her this part of the spiritual stuff, and this is really what led me to do all those things, to write her the letters. Nevertheless, I learned a lot from that. I learned first and foremost, and this is probably the most critical part of this, is as a Christian, as anybody, as a husband or a wife, as a parent, you can't save anybody. See, that was a hard lesson for me to deal with because I've raised two kids. You know, when they have problems, You feel like as a father, you want to save them from their own mistakes, from their own what might be a bad path they're going down. Do you understand? Whether it involves alcohol, whether it involves drugs, whatever it involves, it doesn't matter. Whatever temptations they face in life, you want to save them from uh, them hurting themselves or living a destructive life or even ending their lives through suicide or all these god awful things that happen. Do you understand? But you cannot save anybody, including yourself. You can't even save yourself. That is really something. You understand? Only Jesus Christ can save you. Do you understand? I couldn't save my wife, my ex-wife. Do you understand? And when I married her, I thought I could save her from things, and I don't want to get too personal, from things that she grew up with in her family. Part of me thought I could kind of save her as we went along. Not that it was a huge problem, but it became a problem. I thought I could save her from these things. Then I thought I could save my sons from things. You can't save anybody. That kind of breaks your heart that you can't save people, but you can't. I learned that. But I also learned that even though you have a desire, you still have this desire to save. You really do. Do you understand? You could play a part in helping, but ultimately you can't do it. Anyway, the other thing that I learned is people put on a fake front, and women are very notorious for doing this. They put on a women can put on a smile at work and pretend. They're great pretenders. They're very good at acting, more so than men, because they're more emotional. Women are more spiritual to begin with. Do you understand? They're more heavenly, if you want to put it that way. Do you understand? They're not as dirty as men. I'm not saying in a perverted way. They're a very unique, clean creature walking through a dirty, dark world. I mean, they're somewhat elevated above this. They're very spiritual to begin with and emotional, and they really put on a big show when they have to being happy or they're trying to put on this facade that everything is okay. I'm happy, everything is great, when everything really isn't. Do you understand? My ex-wife puts on, and obviously she was been putting on, and I think she's been doing it for years, is putting on this fake front. But deep inside, she has a broken heart. See, trying to live with a broken heart is a difficult thing to do. A lot of people, I've had a broken heart too, but I also realize that you know, you can't drink a broken heart away. You can't take drugs to mend your broken heart. You can't see psychiatrists. Psychiatrists don't heal anybody. That there's never been any known psychiatrist to cure anybody of anything. Do you understand? And there's nothing wrong with medicines, but there's never been a medicine that's cured anybody of a broken heart. You have to realize that physicians, think of the word physicians, physics. A physician can only help heal the physical part of your physical body. Do you understand? If I was to cut my hand, my body is already working at a feverish pace trying to mend my body. God made our bodies to be very self-healing. Doctors can kind of aid that healing, but for them to take all the credit is a little much, if you ask me. The body is already made. If I was to cut, a cut on my hand or anything, my body instantly is at war trying to heal up that cut, trying to stop the bleeding. You understand it? Instantly is trying to close that up and to heal me, to stop me from bleeding. To what? To save my life. Your body is pro-life. It truly is. It's pro-life. Every cell in your body is screaming out to save your life when anything happens to you. Anyway, You have to remember that you are both physical and spiritual. Physical, and then you have an invisible part of you. You have your physical body, but you also have the invisible part of you, your soul. You are a soul. When God breathed into Adam's nostrils, he became a living soul. When you were born as an infant and you took your first breaths through your nostrils, you became a living soul. All babies take their first breaths through their nostrils, not through their mouth, always through their nostrils. And you become a living soul. You take in the breath of life. It's still the same as it was 6,000 years ago. Nothing's changed. You're drawing in the breath of life right from God, and that little infant becomes a soul. Now, as far as when life starts, it started way before you and I were even born. Life is in the blood. That's something different. I'm not going to get into that in this teaching. Everything that screams in your body is pro-life. Everything. Your blood is screaming pro-life. It tries to save your life if you get a cut. Anyway, getting back to this, if you have a soul, you have a heart, you have a spirit, you have a mind. They're all invisible. Then you have a physical body. Doctors can help mend a physical body, but they cannot mend the invisible part of you. There is no physician that can mend or heal the invisible part of you. There's no doctor that can heal your soul. There's no doctor that can heal your invisible heart, your invisible spirit. You understand? And I got to tell you, there's no doctor that can heal your invisible mind. It's impossible. The only one that can heal the invisible part of you is an invisible God. He's the creator of the invisible part of you. Do you understand? Everything else that people try to do, run around trying to take drugs or drink alcohol, or they become alcoholics, or they get hooked on prescription drugs and all this stuff, to heal a broken heart. It's never going to happen. Only Jesus can heal a broken heart. Why do I say Jesus instead of God the Father? Because nobody comes to the Father except through Jesus Christ. Do you understand? Nobody comes to the Father except through Jesus Christ. Do you understand? It says here in Luke chapter 4, verse 18, okay? The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, okay? To preach deliverance to the captives and recovering sight to the blind, and set to liberty to them that are bruised. He has sent, God the Father has sent Jesus the Son, okay, to heal the brokenhearted. He said he has sent me, Jesus Christ, to heal the brokenhearted. See? Only Jesus Christ can heal a broken heart. Time does not heal a broken heart. Medications don't heal a broken heart. Alcohol doesn't heal a broken heart. And the combination of alcohol and prescription narcotics doesn't heal a broken heart. You can't drink the stuff away. Only Jesus Christ can heal that broken heart. You understand? I hope and pray that this video inspires you, for those who are broken heart, for those who do put on a fake facade, that put on a fake smile, but deep inside you're broken. Do you understand? Jesus sees that broken heart. Do you understand? You can hide that broken heart from people and put on a fake front, but that's really not living. That's really not life. You're like an empty shell of a person trying to just fake your way through life. Jesus wants you to have real joy again. And I say again because, listen, at one point in time, you were a happy little kid. I guarantee you giggled as a child, as a baby. There's nothing better to hear for a man or a woman than the giggle of a little infant, because it's so innocent, it's so real. It's like medicine to a person to hear an infant giggle, a little baby, a real laugh, a belly laugh is like true medicine to anybody with a broken heart. It really is. It's so great to hear an infant giggle, that real belly laugh. Not as you get older, you learn to fake laugh and not really laugh, and laugh not to hurt people's feelings. And women are notorious for making men, laughing at their stupid jokes and trying to make a man feel good. They're very sweet for doing all these things, but really, I mean, when's the last time a woman has had a real belly giggle like she did when she was a little baby? See, Jesus wants you to be that little kid again. And when you laugh, he wants a real wholehearted belly laugh. You understand? A real giggle. That's who he wants you to be again. He doesn't want you to go through life faking it. He doesn't want you to go through life putting on a mask, pretending to be happy when you're sad, or putting on a mask in front of your coworkers and this and that. Fake it until you make it kind of attitude is baloney. Do you understand? You could be happy again. You could have joy in your heart again. But only Jesus Christ can do it for you. Nothing else works.
Shattered like you've never been before. The life you knew in 1,000 pieces on the floor. And words fall short in times like these, when this world drives you to your knees. You think you're never gonna get back to the you they used to be. Tell your heart to beat again. Close your eyes and breathe it in. Let the shadows fall away. Step into the light of grace. Yesterday's a closing door. You don't live there anymore. Say goodbye to where you've been, and tell your heart to beat again. Just let that word wash over you. It's alright now. Love's healing hands have pulled you through. So get back up, take step one. Leave the darkness, feel the sun. 'Cause your story's far from over, and your journey's just begun. Tell your heart to beat again. Close your eyes and breathe it in. Let the shadows fall away. Step into the light of grace. Yesterday's a closing door. You don't live there anymore. Say goodbye to where you've been, and tell your heart to beat again. That reminds you who has carried you this far. 'Cause love sees farther than you ever could. In this moment, heaven's working everything for your good. Tell your heart to beat again. Close your eyes and breathe it in. Let the shadows fall away. Step into the light of grace. Yesterday